Hello, welcome. In this week's video we are talking about slow living activities that you can do to reduce social media. My name is Kat if we haven't met before. Now I recently have been getting into a real rut with social media. I've kept on getting into these cycles of continually scrolling and clicking and I've just got sick of it. So I have been trying to research into how to break social media addiction, and one of the tips that I saw was basically to write out a list of activities that you can do instead of social media and have it sitting by your laptop or your phone. Whenever you get tempted to pick up your phone and scroll mindlessly, pick up the list, look through it and do something on that list instead. So that is this list that I've created for myself. I hope that it brings you inspiration, either for you to use the ideas yourself or for you to springboard your own ideas off of. If you can relate to this social media addiction thing, please leave me a comment down below so that I feel a little bit less alone, and give the video a like and subscribe for future content. The first one is just to go for a walk. I think that sometimes we can get into these kind of cycles of just sitting inside, stuck on the screen, hunched into these like really uncomfortable positions, and just to go outside, clear our heads, loosen off the shoulders, loosen off the body. It can make a massive difference and just make you feel so much better afterwards. This is my #1 go-to thing. Bonus points if you can get out to nature, either out to a nice park or even further afield, as it just helps to bring some perspective. However, even going for a 5-minute walk around the block can make a huge difference. The second one, which is very nature-based, is to go foraging. I've mentioned this in my last couple of videos, so you can tell I'm kind of into it. The thing that's so fun about foraging is that it is both an active thing and a nature-based thing, and it's also educational. So having a wee research of your local area to find out what local things you can forage for in nature that are safe to eat or that you can use for decor is a really nice way to disconnect from social media, disconnect from the internet and being stuck on a screen all the time, and to reconnect with the nature that you may not even know is just on your doorstep. The third one is a mindfulness practice in nature. So when I say a mindfulness practice, I don't necessarily mean deep breathing meditation, although that can be part of mindfulness. It can literally be as simple as going and sitting on a bench in a park, taking a leaf or a flower or looking at some piece of nature nearby and just focusing on it and being aware of it, noticing the little details of it, the curve of the leaf, the way that the dewdrops sit on the rose petals. These tiny little details can just really help to reconnect with your surroundings. One of my favourite ways to be more mindful of nature is to go out with a sketch pad or with my camera and take photographs or attempt to draw what I see around me, as it forces me to really focus on the tiny details that I would normally miss in the everyday. So sketching and photography brings us on to the next section, where I'm going to talk about creative activities that you can do instead of staring at your screen. Number 4 is to try drawing. Get a sketch pad, some pens, some pencils, and just pick an object around you. It could be something simple like I've got here my lens cap. I would sometimes just kind of take something and just set it up somewhere and just try to capture a likeness of it. I don't try to draw what I think it looks like, I try to just draw exactly what I see. And I'm not the best at drawing, but when I just try to draw what I see and I devote enough time and attention to it, I am often pleasantly surprised by how my drawings turn out. Number 5 really doesn't require a lot of skill, it's just about technique really, and that is abstract acrylic painting. So the thing that I love about abstract acrylic painting is that it's not about creating something that objectively one would consider to be good or bad. It's just about throwing your heart into it and having fun with it, and it's okay if it kind of like doesn't turn out exactly as you expect, because the point is about the process, not really so much about the end result. If it looks nice in the end, that's an added bonus. The number of times I've spent like a solid hour or two scrolling through something on social media or kind of getting sucked into a YouTube rabbit hole. I could be doing something creative that feeds my soul, and I really want to be doing more things like that. Okay, this next one is really exciting, and it is calligraphy. I have wanted to try calligraphy for a long time, and I finally bought some lettering pens and I've been learning how to do it, which I've really been enjoying. I've got a background in linguistics, so lettering and alphabets and writing and all that kind of thing are real passions of mine, so to finally be investing in it in a really creative way is a lot of fun. I find that the newness of the project helps me to just get absorbed in it. I'm still very much learning, I'm a total newbie at it, but I found that it's a really simple, easy, cheap thing to do. I don't need much, I just need a piece of paper and a pen, so it's a really super easy thing to turn to instead of social media. It would also be really nice if I could get good enough to incorporate it into greetings cards and things. This brings us on to number 7, which is card making / scrapbooking. What I usually do is I just get a whole load of old cards that I've got over the years, and I cut up all the pretty bits and I recycle them into new cards. Again, it's a creative process that's really fun to get absorbed into. It's got a really beautiful finished product in the end, and it's also a way to connect with other people in a real way. Of course, social media is a wonderful way of connecting to people quickly, which is great, but there's nothing quite like a handmade, handwritten card, just because I think it's more personal and it gives a kind of depth of connection, I feel, that a quick "how are you" on social media doesn't quite do to the same degree. Now we come on to what I've called the restful activities, which are more kind of taking in than giving out. So number 8 is reading a fiction book or listening to an audiobook. I love to get lost in stories. I used to spend most of my childhood just with my nose stuck in a book, but in recent years I definitely haven't been reading as much, and I would love to get back into it. I think it's a healthier hobby than social media. I also love being read to. Peter's recently been rereading Lord of the Rings, so whenever he's around I get him to read it aloud to me, and I just find it really soothing and really calming. I've also recently got a library app on my phone where I can listen to audiobooks for free. It's a really cozy, calming thing to do, and it's a really nice way to just step away from the screens for a little bit, particularly before bed. I have quite a bad habit of scrolling right before I go to bed because I'm messaging people, and then I kind of get down YouTube rabbit holes or start scrolling on Pinterest. So having an audiobook to click onto when I automatically pick up my phone, or having a book by my bedside to pick up before I go to sleep, is a really great way to prevent me from staring at a screen so much right before I go to bed. Number 9 is similar in that is listening to music. I normally listen to music when I'm doing things, but recently I've been trying to just listen to music and really listen to it, you know, like putting it on, just sitting with a cup of tea and my eyes closed, just listening to it and taking in the words, taking in the rhythms, and just really letting it sink in. Sometimes I'll get up and have a wee bit of a shimmy, and that's quite a nice way to get active, move my body about a bit as well. I have been using my vinyl player a lot more, and that's also really great because it means that I'm less likely to listen to music on YouTube followed by clicking on videos. I believe that there is nothing quite like music to lift the spirit and bring joy to the heart. Number 10 is prayer / meditation. Whenever I feel kind of heavy and down and low, I find that that tends to be when I pick up my phone to numb out a bit. So I've been trying not to do that so much, to switch off the social media and instead turn to God and cast my cares before Him, and to meditate as well, to read scriptures. If you're Christian, there's some great meditation apps such as Abide, and I've also been using one every morning and evening called Lectio 365. I'll link them down below. If you're not Christian, I've heard some really great things about Headspace. They've got some great breathing exercises just to calm the mind and the soul. Some other ways to pray / just get your thoughts out is journaling. It's a really great way to just lift those worries off instead of automatically squashing them down and numbing out with social media. If you haven't already, do be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. It really helps to support my channel. Let me know down below if you've got any other tips for helping break social media addiction. I've honestly really been struggling with it recently, so I can use all the help I can get. Also, do be sure to share the video with a friend who you think might benefit from it. But until next time, it was lovely to have you here.